Everybody loves the sunshine.
Not everyone loves the sunshine, but they should. If you don't, here's how. What are the benefits of sunbathing? And what are the benefits of sunbathing in conjunction with practicing the mucusless diet healing system, or simply eating a cleaner, more plant-based, more mucus-free diet? This is an area that I think is misunderstood. It's not really taken seriously. The sunbath is something that is so important to the transformation of your body, mind, and spirit. And for me, I give thanks that I was able to sunbathe. I give thanks that I have a certain level of cleanliness that allows me to have direct contact with the sun for long periods of time without any problems. But I also definitely noticed as I got cleaner with practicing the mucusless diet, I was able to stay in the sun longer with no burning. Because even, I got dark skin, but even growing up and going to the pool all the time and constantly being in the sun, I would still get sunburn around my neck. And I've never been sunburned since I practiced the mucusless diet. And I've went periods where I would go out in the sun, especially the early days when I was just starting out. I would consciously sunbathe for several hours a day. When the sun was out, when it wouldn't rain, and when it was warm enough, I would be out there 3 hours sometimes, just laying there. It was like getting this cosmic information from the sun. Like I'm literally being filled up with some information. And it's a very, very deep experience. And so I know with sunbathing, a lot of people, if you have a little fairer skin, you might have some issues and not necessarily want to be out there that long. Transition methodology always applies. If you can't go out for a half hour, start off with 5 minutes. Move to 10 minutes, move to 15 minutes a day when the sun is out, when it's warm enough. Do your breath work. If you are doing that and you're also practicing the other principles of the mucusless diet, you're doing enemas, you're eating your salads, your broom salads, you're eating a lot of fruit, you will start to see some serious transformation. And tell you the story of Arnold Ehret, who wrote the Mucusless Diet book. The deeper he got and the longer that he stayed on the mucusless diet, and when he would get regular sun, his skin got so dark that people thought that he was from another race. They didn't think he was, we call it white. These are problematic terms in terms of race. I'll try not to get into a discussion about that in this because that gets off into tangents. But he got so dark that people thought he was an Indian from India. And that's been the experience of a number of people. Some people that started off very fair-skinned when they began the mucusless diet, then when they got really serious and they practiced, they cleaned themselves out. And before they knew it, they were like 3, 4, 5 shades darker. And there's a reason for that Arnold Ehret talks about in the mucusless diet. His theory that the cleaner we get our blood, the cleaner, the more mucus that we remove from our system, the darker we actually will get. And we become inherently darker as we remove this slime and this waste. And as he said, he could actually notice a little bit of paleness just from eating a mucus forming food, like eating some bread. And he'd look at his face and it would kind of get pale. And I had that experience, especially, if I go and eat a whole bunch of mucus, I'll lighten up a little bit. My skin will get a little bit lighter, especially back in the day when I was getting started on the mucusless diet. And I could even probably show before and after type of pictures that show how my skin has changed over the years. And real early on, my skin got like real baby soft. It went from kind of ashy and sort of what blah. But then on the Mucusless diet, that was like immediately my skin got baby soft. Like the whole, I mean, I would just be like, wow, my stuff. And it's the people that were close enough to me to be able to touch my skin, they'd be like, damn, this is this is like a baby's skin, on my stomach. It's like a little baby skin. And I'm like, and so that was like such a benefit to me of practicing the diet. And guys generally don't really, it's not something we always care too much about or think about it. Maybe I'm wrong. It's probably in the Midwest, there's not a whole lot of guys that's like moisturizing and all whatever people do. I don't even really know that much about that realm and that world. I'm gonna sound stupid talking about it. But I know that people that identify as women oftentimes spend thousands of dollars on these stealth stuff to try to keep their skin nice. Like that, whatever skin creams and this and that and concealerish this and put that over here and night cream and mask and all this stuff. And I'm like, enemas and fruit? You want to see your skin be off the chain? Enemas, fruit, salads. You'll go through the process of cleansing. There's going to be a period where you might not look great. You definitely go through those elimination periods where you don't look your best. But if you can get through that, on the other side of that is just a purity that I would think everybody would want. And I can tell who's doing this work, even on Instagram and videos, and I see people, and I can tell their skin. I can tell what they're, if they're really serious about the fruit and vegetable and fasting lifestyle, or if they're doing something else. The skin, for me, a lot of people analyze different stuff. Some people like to analyze weight. I don't look at weight like that. Some people like to look at hair. It's like, oh, you have a gray hair. Like, they'll look at, I'm interested in skin and, the elasticity. And if you want to preserve elasticity in your skin, fruits, green leafy vegetables, fasting, enemas, and the sun. Getting that sun, getting enough sun. And I'm very happy. You can see in the background, this is actually Miami. This is I'm an explorer. Like some people, I'm not even, there's a sign, I'm not even supposed to even be here, but this is like, I was like, nah, this is too good of you can see the entire city. I've been looking for a really good angle like that. And, so here it's sunny, it's like 80 degrees out here, it's beautiful. And it's, where I'm from, the frozen tundra, it's like, it's 30 degrees and miserable and cloudy and snowy. And so there's something to be said for, saving up your money and thinking about making a move, or living the van or the RV lifestyle, so that you can kind of go where you want to go, do what you want to do when you want to do it. Those are all things you can, if you're interested in like a van lifestyle, there's a lot of great YouTubers and information on that, and the RV lifestyle. Those are definitely different. Those are very different lifestyles, the RV versus the van lifestyle. They're very different, but, or making the move, but it's, how bad do you want to heal? How bad do you want to feel good? That's where I'm at now. It's like, how bad do I want to feel good? Because I know, I get off track, which happens sometimes. No, I'm not perfect. No one's gonna be like, oh, Professor Spira. No, I'm not perfect at all. I have my little slip ups and things just like everybody else. But there's also certain, there's a certain line that I'm not gonna cross in terms of when I go back. And I incorporate falling off the wagon into the plan, which I could probably make a whole video about that, just discussing that whole process. But because to me, that's a mentality, and I don't see a lot of people, I've tried to talk about it over the years, but I don't see a lot of people really understanding it or kind of jumping on that. And I really learned it from Brother Ehret, because when he talked about his white potato period, he had some I think it was like some white fry. He had made some fries with peanut oil and he ate it, and it messed him up in terms of he had been doing all this stuff for a long time, and he ate that mucus, and that triggered this response where it was just like, and for a while he was really stuck in that. And instead of trying to force himself not to eat it and use some kind of willpower, his idea was just like, man, you know what? I'm gonna eat my way through this period because I know it's finite. It's not gonna last forever. So I'm not gonna judge myself too harshly, and I'm gonna eat this mucus. Same thing when he did the peanut butter and jelly. I'm gonna eat this mucus. I'm gonna keep doing my enemas though. I'm gonna keep the rest of the day, the fruit meals are on point, the salads are on point. I'm just gonna deal with this mucus at the end of the day or whenever it was. And to me, that's an important methodology. I mean, that's a real practical methodology for people that are doing this diet, that really understand what's going on, that when you try to, people try to be perfect all the time, like, or when they start putting numbers on stuff, I'm 90% raw or I'm 90% mucus-free. It's like, I don't even think that's a good way to think, man. I just don't think that's helpful, because to me, it's a transitional thing. I've gone long periods of time 100% raw. I've gone long periods of time 100% mucus-free. I've gone long periods of time on juice. That doesn't mean that I was gonna do that for the rest of my life. I wasn't gonna be on juices the rest of my life, or I wasn't gonna be mucus-free just because I did it for an extended period of time. When you're talking about decades, you get those long periods of time. It's like the more of those you can rack up, the better. But gracefully step down, gracefully come off of that. Don't, because what happens is, if you're trying to force yourself to stay on some kind of plateau, when you start to come down, or when you get a craving, like, you start to feel guilty about it. You're like, man, I'm actually kind of craving some cooked food, or I'm craving this, and then you shouldn't, if you're craving cooked mucus-free food, I mean, that should be applauded. That shouldn't be a problem at all. But I understand especially if you come in with the raw foodist background and dogma, that's a thing. I'm saying that, okay, beautiful. If you can hang, that's great. But when we're talking about long term, when we're talking about 10, 20, 30 years of just practice the system, just being on point, practicing the system. So, started off talking about the sun. That's a reference that everyone loves the sunshine. Look, I would love to play a clip of that music, but YouTube would hit me with a copyright. So, check out Roy Ayers, Everyone Loves the Sunshine. If you know that song, if you've never heard of it, check that out. Beautiful song. I actually got a chance to play with Roy Ayers years ago. I played with him back when I was playing with a band, FOMO Deep, and we opened for him, and then we got a chance to sit in with him. And this is actually a couple different times. I actually played with him a couple times. And so that, good old Roy Ayers. Everyone loves the sunshine. Like I said, not everyone loves the sunshine. Some people cannot deal with the sun and have some serious problems. So, but clean yourself up, and you will take care of that issue. You will be able to drink in, your skin will love you. They'll drink in all of that beautiful, beautiful sun rays, and you're just gonna feel so good. There's nothing better than, you know, eating fruit and feeling what that feels like, your body just absorbing every bit of that sun on your body, you know, and trying to, you know, and putting yourself in a position where you can be as nude as possible, you know, because we're really supposed to get sun on our entire body. And we're kind of in this little clothes era right now, this little clothes thing, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is, this little clothes human thing. So we'll go through this phase. We're having a clothes phase, probably because we're stupid enough to go to climates that require us to put on clothing to create little micro-tropical environments with our skin. Like, we're putting on extra skin to make sure that we can maintain that little tropical temperature on our skin. Well, it's like, why don't we just go someplace tropical? It's like we put so much effort into, I mean, think about all the, and I mean, people are talking about, you know, energy and all this kind of stuff. There ain't nothing. How much, why don't people talk about driving and vehicles? What about heaters? What about all the coal that's burned to make the electricity for the furnace, and the, you know, whether it's an electric furnace, gas furnace, whatever it is, that's a lot of pollution that's creating. And so if people wanted to get it incredibly serious, they would start talking in terms of, like, we actually, like, the entire populations of humans need to basically leave and go inhabit warmer climates, so we don't have to use heaters, we don't have to use, but then those folks will probably want to use air conditioners and stuff. So you really can't win with weak physiologies. You're gonna have problems. So I thank you so much for tuning in. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm just gonna definitely get me some sun while I can. And yeah, just it's all very simple. Fruits, green leafy vegetables, transitional mucus forming foods, enemas. Did I already say that? Enemas. And you know, enjoy yourself, enjoy life, man. You don't be so, you know, so serious and pent up and stuff all the time. You know, you gotta loosen up, enjoy yourself, and enjoy the process. You know, and be patient. You know, really, you know, be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and yeah. So don't go anywhere. I want you to, right here, you see this video, click right here, and I got another great video that I want you to check out. So right now, click here, and I will see you over there. Peace, love, and breath.